friends, how are you doing? I hope everyone is well out there. I really do mean that. So let's talk about what are we talking about here? Let's talk about Big Bear. Let's talk about SoundHound. Obviously, I haven't been talking about SoundHound as much here because not a lot has been going on with SoundHound, so there's not a lot to report. But SoundHound essentially has been doing what I think it's going to continue to do until it gets to Q2 here, is kind of stay in this position of where it's at right now. But I'll talk about that more. But with both these companies, I think about where will these companies be 1 year from now, 2 years from now, even 5 years from now. Where will both these companies be here? And I think they both bring, as of right now, this could change obviously by the end of the year. They both bring a slew of different areas with revenue, deals, where most of their money is coming from right now. So, I like them both. This isn't a video to talk bad about them. So if you're in here for me to beat them down and be bearish on them, this is probably not going to be something you want. But I will try to bring a double-edged sword to the conversation here and say hey, these are the problems. And I know people, and there's people that don't want me to even address that because there's people that they just want to hear the good things. But I do think it is important to talk about the bad things as well. So with that, let's talk about Big Bear first, because there's a lot of conversation to have with Big Bear, and I've talked about Big Bear quite a bit already, so I don't want to repeat myself too much here. But today I think there's this thing going on right now, and it's people like it, people don't like it, and I'm not here to talk politics, but this is what it is. I have no control over it, and this is just what it is. So for us as investors, Big Bear right now is attached to this. The majority of new money, big money that is occurring right now with Big Bear is defense contracts. And a lot of people are starting to say, Big Bear's a defense company. Well, I mean, not exactly. Big Bear has their software, what they do, all that, the face recognition thing that, that they are, the software. I'm not trying to go into what Big Bear is here, but Big Bear as a company, the deals that they've been achieving here, a ton of defense deals, some other new partnerships here as of last week. And now defense is a huge conversation. Okay, so when Trump first came into office in 2016, Trump spent all kinds of money on defense. I mean, where he could spend it, he spent it. Okay, so that's what, we saw that. Now, fast forward here, 8 years later, Trump is at the helm again here, and he's doing the same thing. He's spending a lot of money on defense. But now we're seeing defense wrapped up in a lot of these AI stocks. So we have these companies, these AI companies with software that they've been getting, deals, making money here elsewhere. Things like Palantir. There's plenty others too. But now they're in this sector of they're getting these defense contracts with the U.S. government, and Big Bear is now in this conversation. And just for that, I see a lot of people saying do not compare Palantir to Big Bear. I'm not comparing them, but all I'm trying to address is because there's similarities from the last 2 years of Palantir to little tidbit things going on with Big Bear right now. Okay, so obviously they're totally different. Finances, companies, CEOs, everything. What's going on? Obviously, I couldn't agree more. But what I will say, there are similarities. If you were with Palantir, if you've been with Palantir over the past 2 years, even 3 years, and you've been with Big Bear for the past 6 months, there are similar, paths, merging on one another right now. Very similar things going on. So back to Big Bear. Big Bear, I'm not even trying to talk about short term here, but Big Bear is in this position right now where it's fluctuating, trying to get into some higher ground here. But when we talk about the longevity of Big Bear, what can Big Bear be like in a year from now, 2 years right now? It's hard to say really, but I think talking about the positives that we can fundamentally all agree on and see right now with Big Bear is that A of all, it's been capturing a lot of deals with the government, defense deals, some other little partnerships in there too. We're still pretty early in the year. There's still plenty of time for them to wrap up some more deals. Maybe one ginormous, juicy one. That would be ginormous. I guess that's a word. Sorry, it's thundering outside. So, with that, there's still time for Big Bear to pull off an even better year than what we're seeing right now. And that's the thing. They are going to have, this is probably going to be one of the best years they've had here financially once we get to like Q4 of 2025 to wrap up this year here. But with me saying that, defense is a huge market right now for the stock market, undoubtedly, because, Trump's talking about, he did the parade thing today. Is it today? Tomorrow? But he is spending a ton of money on defense. The Golden Dome situation, all these talks with other companies, ship making, everything. So Big Bear already being in the bucket here with companies that have defense contracts. It's very easy to say that Big Bear could continue to press into this sector. And we hope they do. If you're voting for Big Bear to do well, you're counting on them to do well. You're wanting this to continue. So, I look at Big Bear and I go, I feel very confident that Big Bear, so youthful as a stock in the sense of all these new eyes on it right now and where it can go, possibilities. I do feel confident that Big Bear will continue to press into this moment that it's in right now. Even if we get to, a little bit deeper into the year here and we're at least at a $5 to $7, $8 range here, that would be huge for investors that have been buying here just in the past few months. So 2 years from now with Big Bear, if Big Bear continues to push into government contracts, they start to find themselves gathering up more business from other companies reaching out to them because they have government contracts, resembling a similar path, very much so, of what Palantir has done over the past 2 years. Big Bear undoubtedly could find itself in some heavy earnings for them going into next year. So right now, to me, and I know I haven't talked about SoundHound as of yet, and like I said, I love SoundHound. Listen, I was here on the bullhorn with SoundHound when it was $1, okay? So I'm not saying anything bad about SoundHound, but I think this is pretty much how I'm seeing it. For the lifespan and the opportunity for one of these stocks to grow at a faster rate, as of right now, I would probably put my money on Big Bear, considering it's attached to the administration. We know the money's being spent on. Big Bear's got, a new CEO who has a military background. They've pretty much restructured a lot of the company, and it's a situation right now where we're just slowly watching partnership, all this stuff kind of take place here. And it's going to really start to compound on these quarterlies coming up here with Big Bear. So, 2 years from now, I think, Big Bear has if this is the start of Big Bear really reshaping the company, it's a really good start. Okay. Now, like I said, I will bring the double-edged sword here. Obviously, Big Bear's got debt. They got debt they got to get paid off, okay? This lawsuit deal situation, we're hoping this kind of just dies down. It just goes away, they don't bring it back up in the courts, anything like that. And two, Big Bear needs more deals. They need big deals. They need more things. They need more things cooking in the fireplace here. But like I said, it's early in the year, so I do believe that something can happen here. So obviously, I'm talking long term here, okay? I'm talking long term. So, and really what I am focusing on at Big Bear right now. So for the person commenting and saying, well, Big Bear's never been a company that's produced really big quarterlies or had a history of producing good quarterlies. I get that. I know that. Trust me, I was saying that 6 months ago when we first got that government contract, the big one, the first big one. What I'm saying now, if this is the new start of Big Bear with the new CEO, the new administration, the new, the down the road here we go with everyone being a part of Big Bear now. It's off to a good start, no doubt about it, with these government contracts and what is hot right now in business. There's software, defense, this whole thing going on right now. Now, when we talk about SoundHound here, I look at SoundHound and I go, what an amazing year in 2024 SoundHound had. We made a ton of money with SoundHound. I mean, just the NVIDIA investments, and obviously they're out now, but those were huge moments for SoundHound with NVIDIA. Massive revenue climbing with SoundHound. And we're in this place right now with SoundHound where it's a waiting game for Q2 here. We're in this very much this zone of $8 to $10, $11 on a really, really good day. But this is a situation that I think will probably continue to play around here until we get to Q2. And I think Q2 could be a little dangerous here for SoundHound because now it has something to prove. Now, why I say this, and listen, like, this isn't me talking bad about SoundHound. Like, I love SoundHound, okay? But I do think, I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing it, I'm hearing it from other investors, that SoundHound right now is in this position when we look at the quarterlies that come out here. So, Q3 of 2024, great quarterly. Q4 of 2024, the biggest the company's ever had. Blew expectation. I mean, it's crazy big. And then Q1 of 2025 here, we missed expectation just by just a little over $1 million. They missed it, okay? Not much at all. SoundHound now is in this place where investors are going, okay, well, I was hoping they were just going to be in this, this path of continuing to execute quarterlies. Now, I don't think this means curtains up, curtains down, curtains closed, whatever the expression is here. But, I don't think that this is lights out, essentially, with SoundHound. They've had a lot of great deals in 2024 that are carrying over into 2025 here. The company is still busy, still moving forward. What I am looking at right now with SoundHound, obviously, is for me, this is amazing that SoundHound is at this price right now. I think a lot of us, if you've been with me listening to me yap about SoundHound since last year, we were buying SoundHound at $1, $2, $3. I remember when SoundHound was like $5.50, and we were like, oh my God, it's $5, $6. So now, we've had this huge run in SoundHound, buying, trading, selling, whatever, compounding your position, whatever you've been doing. This is great. I think a lot of us are happy, but there is a situation right now where, to me, if SoundHound can just be in this new stream of revenue anywhere from 25 to 30 million, even at least the rest of this year, it would show that they are in this new stream of revenue. Because this is great. This is the most money this company has ever been on a path making money. Big Bear, this is generally the kind of revenue that Big Bear is making, to be honest. But Big Bear has had terrible leadership here the past. But SoundHound is obviously in this whole new realm of revenue. So it's a very interesting, youthful situation to watch with this company right now. So listen, I know you guys are gonna come after me if I say anything like, I love SoundHound, but I am concerned. Not even so much concerned. I am aware that investors are not going to push SoundHound unless there's another big deal, or Q2 really shows to be something significantly good here, at least passing expectation. So I think that's what you're watching right now. I think you're watching just it's holding really good position. I mean, this is still phenomenal price range for SoundHound, to be honest. I mean, because like I said, we were buying this stock at $3, $4, $5 here not long ago. So, I think that's where it's at right now. Investors are wanting to see what Q2 is going to be here. Is Q2 going to bleed down to 20 million or somewhere, middle ground 20 million? Or is it going to get back in this 30 million zone, well over 30 million? I don't know. We're going to see. SoundHound had a great year in 2024. Great year. Locked down a lot of deals. But, what SoundHound offers with what they have as their AI, their software, I think it too will find a place in the years to come even stronger than where it's at right now. I am one of these people where I'm drinking the juice and go that you think tech is big right now in the market, we can't even fathom what is coming here in the next 5 to 10 years with these tech stocks. They are going to control the market. They're essentially going to be like, just the new, they're going to control everything. They're going to be like gas stocks. I mean, they're just going to be unbelievable wealth, just crazy amounts of money they are bringing in here. So it essentially, right now, SoundHound is in this new position of bringing in new wealth. And I think we're just wanting to see, can the well keep producing this large amount of revenue stream that they're in right now? I'm hoping so. So friends, like I said, I love both these companies, but if I had to pick one that I look at as of right now to really outshine the other one, obviously SoundHound financially, they paid off a lot of debt. They've done really well, pretty solid company, not a lot of gossip, not a lot of, huge things going on. There are some court things they're dealing with too, but, a lot of these companies are dealing with crap. But, there's drama with both of them. But if I had to pick one for the next 2 years to bet on at this point, and they're both, they're still both bets, whether or not they're going to make it into like a 50 million, range of quarterlies, and, even producing $200 million in $200 million in 1 year of revenue, is yet to be seen here. But if I had to bet on one, I would pick Big Bear, just because Big Bear, we've got 4 years of Trump here. So we know where Trump's pushing the money. We know where Big Bear is getting a lot of its money right now. And we know what Big Bear offers software-wise is wanted and needed. So that is why I'm really hyper fixated on Big Bear. I just be totally honest with you. So this isn't me telling you to mortgage your house, sell your car, and put everything into Big Bear. It's just me personally saying this. If I had to choose one, if I had X amount of money to really bet on something, it would probably be Big Bear. Now, saying that, I am fully aware that Big Bear is still a very dangerous situation, because Big Bear has debt. Big Bear has something to prove. Big Bear really needs to get its act together, even more so than it already has. And listen, just as there's a lot of people betting for Big Bear, there's a lot of people betting against it. And I see more drama around Big Bear right now because Big Bear is the more popular stock right now. 100%. It is the more popular stock. SoundHound had a really great year in 2024. Very popular stock. I mean, it was very popular. It's kind of died down in popularity here as of late, but I still think it's really worth your attention here, especially if they come out with this Q2 here and execute it. It's going to be, it's going to be a green light for the stock to at least hold the position that it's at and keep playing around this ballpark here. So these are two young AI stocks that are in this new stream of revenue. Big Bear really hasn't showed much of, much on their quarterly so far, because they've only had one quarterly to set out this year, and they just missed it. They just missed the Q1 here, but it was a crazy hike up compared to Q1 of 2024. So they are showing positive earnings coming this year here, and that's what's exciting. SoundHound is very much in this new path of revenue that it's in right now. This is extraordinary revenue for the company. I mean, this company went from making 5-10 million to this 20, 30, 25 million. I mean, this is crazy. So yeah, that's really how I feel. I love both these companies. Okay, so don't think I'm trying to be mean to them, but I do want to put a double-edged sword to the conversation. And yeah, there's negative just as much as there's positive. Okay, so friends, listen, I wish all of you the best of luck. Watch these companies. Watch them 100%. They both have done crazy squeezes in the past. I would be not. I would be shocked if they didn't do it again. Would just have these huge spike ups and downs. So friends, take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Bye everyone.